Are you a waiter or are you a creator?
Don't be a waiter, be a creator. Well, hello there. We're back, and we have a very important question for you.
Are you a waiter or are you a creator?
What the heck does that mean?
We're going to share that with you. I know. What does it mean? We're going to share it with you today. It's not only going to help you in today's market, but in many, many years to come. And you do have to ask yourself that question. Are you waiting, and what are you waiting for?
And I think it's probably one of the most important questions you can ask yourself in your career. And we've seen the impact of asking that question and answering it with, yes, I'm a creator. We've seen the impact it's had on many agents' careers, and we're going to share that concept with you here today.
It's important to realize we face a lot of changes in real estate. I got my license 42 years ago. Can you imagine how much change?
42 years.
I've seen it. Watch it. Anyway, but again, this is what we want to talk about today because there are so many opportunities, but we kind of have blinders on. We don't mean to do it. So we're going to help you take the blinders off.
So back during the Great Recession, real estate felt like somebody had flipped a switch and shut it down. Our training business, we felt like somebody flipped a switch and shut it down. So we decided, look, we're going to travel. We're going to do these free sessions. We want to share some positivity. And so the sessions we called Who Moved My Real Estate Market?
Not the cheese.
Not the cheese.
The market,
just like the cheese.
Yeah, just like.
And in our travels, we were asking agents, brokers, office managers, now that the market's shifting, what are you doing to grow your business? What are you doing to move it forward? And we'd hear really a common response. It was typically around marketing. If they're not marketing a property, they're marketing themselves, getting the word out there, and hoping that turned into business. And so people talk about the marketing they're doing, maybe a new direction, and they're Facebooking now. More people doing that. And they've got their face on a shopping cart at the store. And what they're saying is ultimately, we're waiting for the phone to ring. And I'd say, well, that's a good thing. When the phone rings, that's a great thing about the business of real estate. But you're just hoping sometime when you go into the office, phone rings, somebody wants to buy or sell. Is waiting for the phone to ring in and of itself a very powerful business strategy. It's great when it happens, but not so much. And
it's
then
so
I would
depressing too when you're just sitting there waiting.
And the phone doesn't ring.
It gets depressing.
And then everybody goes to lunch, and we're depressed more. We come back,
Exactly.
The phone doesn't ring. Well, what was the other big question? Inventory, right? Well, we don't have any inventory, and we hear that problem. People facing that challenge, various levels. One of the reasons we often hear about low inventory is because the owners of existing homes don't want to come into the market. They may want to sell, but they don't want to lose the low mortgage rates they have, right?
Yep.
So we've faced that in recent years. In a very real sense, even though there's an overall shortage of housing to meet the needs of homeowners across the country, or those who desire to do that, in essence, it's new construction.
Yes.
Right? It's developers developing and builders building. So again, we'd say, well, what are you going to do about inventory? We'd ask agents, and they said, well, all we can do is wait for developers to develop and builders to build. Hopefully, we can get an opportunity to get involved somehow, and maybe there's some business, some listings, or some transactions there. Well, that's a possibility. So then we would also ask that question of newer agents. And the definition of newer agent can be somebody 3-4 months in the business, maybe somebody a few years in the business. And we say, what are you doing to move your business forward? They talk about farming, and they would talk about the marketing they're doing. But they said, you know what everyone tells us is that you just have to have patience for your business to grow organically, right? It'll grow over time. But the secret is you need to hang in. You got to just hang in there, right?
Yet another depressing thing. Hang in there, right?
People. The truth is hanging in there is very important.
Yes.
Most of us in the business, real estate, and many other businesses, entrepreneurs and so on, have learned that unless you hang in there till almost the very end, you're not going to survive. So that's an important thing. But again, hanging in there in and of itself is not a great business plan.
You know what you're reminding me of?
Yes.
We were at a convention, and this newer agent, because you were talking about newer agents, right? And she was all excited. She saw our certified new home specialist logo, and she said, you know, I've been thinking about it. She says, there's all this land I keep driving by, and I just don't know. I don't even know what to do with that. I just got my license like 6 months ago. She said, but I've been looking at your training. But my manager told me, you don't need to do that. I'll teach you what you need to know.
You're too new to real estate.
Or I'll teach you. I said, okay, first of all, no diss to managers, but you're overseeing a lot of agents. You only have this much time to dedicate. So I said, you know what? I said, I really think you should just go for it because we've helped more new agents right out of the box learn how to do the business right. Remember her?
Yeah. Totally.
Last day of the convention, she came. She says, the heck with it. I'm not going to listen to the manager. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Year later, we're at that convention. She shows up. She turned that property, that land into 40 single homes, okay? Because she learned how to package it, how to sell her services, find the builders and all that. She says, but I'll be right back. Remember when she came back? She came back with the manager who then apologized to us.
Hey there, friends. If you want to tap into new home sales, this tool is a game changer.
The free new home market analyzer shows you what's being built, where, and by whom in your market area in seconds.
And no digging through data. Just type in your zip code. It's free to use. Follow the link below to register and get started instantly.
Oh man, did she teach me a lesson? But that's going out and creating. So we taught her how to create.
She was not only like Rookie of the Year, but she was the top producer, like overnight, the top producer in the office. But again, back to the concept of a waiter or creator. The difference is instead of waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for land and new properties and new homes and inventory to show up, waiting for your business just to get better over time because you keep hanging in there. There are proactive things you can do. In addition to all those other things you're doing that are waiting and hoping the phone rings, there are proactive things you can do to build your business, to build a pipeline. You can bring new inventory to the market, but the first step is having that mindset and saying, I'm not going to be just a waiter. I'm going to be a creator. And we're proud of the fact that we have helped many thousands, tens of thousands of professionals not only take on that mindset, but show them step by step how to go out and make it happen.
What about Seth? Remember with the bird dogging?
Yeah. So
oh, man.
One of the things we talk about, one of
the
the secrets to being a creator is what we call bird dogging land. Now, I grew up in a hunting family. Some of you may have.
I haven't.
And so, you did. Not even close.
Not even close.
So the concept of bird dogging is this. Actually, my grandfather raised hunting dogs, and the dogs were taught to go out and just rustle up the bushes, and then the birds would fly and the hunters could hunt. So that's bird dogging. Of course, the other piece to bird dogging is hopefully the dog brings the bird back after the hunter
Don't
has
talk
shot the
about
bird.
that. Yeah.
But I guess that might make people say,
don't talk about
that. Back to the bird dog. Bird dogging is out there rustling the bushes, is going out and looking and identifying opportunities. And we have story after story of folks who took on that mindset. One of our certified new home specialists said, I've been driving by this property for 15 years. Had no idea what it was, what the potential was, and he ends up bringing to life a 24-unit luxury condominium project. That's amazing, right? So back to Seth. Seth is in Cleveland, Ohio, already a top producer in resale. He goes through our courses. He says, I've really never added the new home component to my business, and I love that bird dog and land idea. And the short story here, he found a parcel of land, discovered who owned it, did some research, got together with the planning commission, talked to the local city engineers and the people in zoning, got an idea of what the potential was, and then partnered with a developer/builder who also had investor friends. And the next thing you know, they're developing this parcel, and our buddy Seth now has 18 luxury homes, exclusive listings that he's bringing out of the ground.
And he has a team too, which is great. He's even built a team.
Built a team around that. What's interesting now, what Seth's doing is now finding building lots that the city makes available for almost nothing, as long as you're going to tear down an old property, build something new. And he's working on bringing in factory-built homes and revitalizing neighborhoods.
That's so cool.
Right?
He's baked his own pie. That's what you talk about all the time.
Well, that's
Baking
it. So
your
the other
own
way
pie.
to look at the concept of a waiter or creator, we call baking your own pie.
Yep.
I've always been a student of success, and I would read the books and listen to the tapes. I love to talk to older folks that have been very successful. I remember asking this old timer, what do you think is the secret to success? You've been successful in business and so on. And he said, listen, son, here it is. It's bake your own pie. Learn how to bake your own pie. I said, what does that mean?
Right.
And what he said is, most people are fighting over a piece of the same pie. Most people are just copying what a handful of other people are doing. It's those who come up with a new recipe, try new things.
I like that.
It's those who have that mindset. So whether you're going to be a waiter or a creator, whether you're baking your own pie, there are tremendous opportunities. And another story, do you remember that fellow? Ron was his name.
Yeah.
And he asked us to keep the rest of his information confidential because he didn't want any of his competition knowing what he's doing. Well, we're speaking at a convention. In our session, we talked about infill, and we talked about being a creator, and we talked about baking your own pie. And the other concept that ties into all that, we say, build your business on purpose. We think that's an important concept to realize. Again, it's about planning ahead, laying the groundwork for 6 months, 12 months, 5 years from now. You know, we'll hear people say, how in the world could I be thinking or worried about 5 years from now?
Just a year ago.
Right. Well, look at how fast time flies,
crazy,
right?
yes.
All those years ago, you got your license.
And watch it.
Do you want to grow your business by adding a new home's revenue stream?
I really do, yes. Our free new home market analyzer gives you instant market insight.
Just enter a zip code or a city and get builder activity, permit data, pricing trends, and more.
It's easy, and it is built just for you. Totally free. Follow the link below to register and get started instantly.
Okay, Colin. Yes.
Anyway, back to Ron. So he's in our session. He comes over and talks to us after the session, all fired up. Goes home. 2 years later, we see Ron. He's back at the convention again, and he comes up. He says, I want to share my story. I want to thank you so much for firing me up. And he went through how he went home, took the training, and then he put up on the mirror when he's getting ready to start his day, he's got little signs there. And one says, don't be a waiter, be a creator. And the other one says, bake your own pie. And then the third one says, build your business on purpose. And he says, then when I get in my car, I've got those little stickers there. And of course, it always starts out some interesting conversation when I'm on a date with somebody. And they're trying to figure out what is that business in my car.
Are we eating pie? What's happening?
Yeah, what's with the pie? And then we get to the office, and he said, right there where I'm my desk, I've got those little things there. And he said, you know what? It's about reminding myself constantly that every day, in a lot of ways, small ways, I could be laying the groundwork, building the pipeline, right? And creating my own successful future. So what he did is he focused on the concept of infill, tear downs, rebuilds. And without getting into a lot of detail, he said, Dennis, I am so excited to tell you that my business was just kind of limping along the first 3-4 years, whatever it was. He said, I went ahead and I pursued this. I took on this new mindset. And he said, last year I closed $50 million worth of real estate. Now, this is a market where home prices maybe in the low, maybe to the mid 300s would be the higher end of the market.
It's a lot of business. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of transactions to get there. $50 million worth of sales. He says, I'm on track for $70 million this year. And while I'm here at the convention, I'm so excited because back home, I've got builders putting the finishing touches on about $12 million worth of new listings I'm going to take to the market right when I get back. That's pretty exciting.
That is
so he
really
says, I'm here, I'm attending sessions, I'm having fun here in Vegas, and I have a real sense of security that I have this business waiting for me, and I have a pipeline out beyond that. I've got several years of things I'm working on that'll be coming to the market. But not only am I going to go back and put up these $12 million worth of listings, he said, I selected the floor plans. I chose the cabinets, the flooring. He says, I told them what color to paint the walls.
Because he's in the best position to share what his clients are looking for.
Exactly.
I love that. That's really cool.
He knows what will sell. He knows what people want. He knows what's perceived as value. And that's one of the wonderful things we have if we're doing things right as a real estate professional.
Exactly.
And then he ended it all off and he said, Dennis, I just want to thank you again. And here's the most exciting thing about all of this. None of the other agents in my office, none of the other agents in my market area have any idea how I'm doing what I'm doing.
Love that.
Yeah,
Think about that. That's why he didn't want us to mention his name.
And of course, now we're hoping he's telling everybody, hey, take Dennis and Teresa's training, and he's keeping it a secret. But the
good news is this. We are students of success. And here's the one success story you will never, ever hear. You know what? I just kept doing what I was doing, and all of a sudden, my business tripled.
Just blew up, yeah.
It doesn't happen. So the Rons and the other people that have taken the training, the sets, all we're doing is we're taking off those blinders, and you're open to the possibilities and the opportunities that are out there. But most importantly, you are prepared to bring that business to whomever. If it's a builder, a developer, Be that creator. Start creating like that newer agent did, right out of the box. Get that pipeline going.
Yeah. And I will add that that creator, being a creator, is not just bringing homes to the market. It could be serving other needs, whether it's retirement communities, whether it's mixed use properties. The sky's the limit. And what's really exciting is to watch folks who take on that mindset and start pursuing and start bringing new inventory to life and building that pipeline, often build long-term success stories where they're able to adapt to any market under any conditions and achieve incredible success. So we hope that this concept makes sense to you. We hope you could adopt this and get to work. And with that mindset, in addition to everything else you're doing, stand apart from the rest of the pack and build yourself a long, successful future.
We'd love to see you be part of our awesome certified new home specialist or residential remodeling specialist. Go see us at 𝘃𝗵𝗶𝗀.com. Subscribe, 𝘃𝗵𝗶𝗀.com. Subscribe.
And by the way, we always love your comments, thoughts, and happy to help you in any way possible. So goodbye. Thank you all.
Have
very
a
much.
wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.